Right, let's get into what's really unfolding with Beyoncé and Jay-Z, because this situation is getting messier by the day. The rumors are swirling, leaked tapes are flying, and now, federal prosecutors are starting to name names. According to insiders and street chatter, B and J aren't just bystanders in this storm, they might be next in line. Here's how it all started. Things got serious once Diddy's trial began heating up. Explosive testimonies, leaked recordings, and courtroom documents started rocking the industry. But the most shocking part? Diddy might not be the only one in the hot seat. Prosecutors are reportedly preparing to go after some of his closest allies, and at the top of that list, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. There's even talk that Jay is setting Diddy up to save himself, and that this is deeper than speculation. Behind the scenes, sources claim Beyoncé has already cancelled parts of her tour and is seriously considering fleeing the country with Jay. And no, not for a vacation. It's being described as a strategic exit, a possible move to a nation without an extradition treaty, just in case legal heat closes in. For years, people believed Jay-Z was the one attending Diddy's infamous parties, while Beyoncé was just along for the ride. But now, new claims suggest she wasn't just present, she was involved. Whispers say she was aware of the freak-off lifestyle and may have even participated. And with prosecutors allegedly tightening the net, it seems like B and J could be preparing to vanish before the flames reach their doorstep. Now, here's where things get even murkier. Before all this chaos, Jay-Z and Diddy weren't just industry acquaintances, they were tight. As in, inner circle tight. So close, in fact, that Jay was reportedly one of only 2 people allowed to call Diddy by his real name, Sean. The only other person with that privilege, Diddy's own mother. That's not just friendship, that's family-level trust. Their bond wasn't hidden either. Jay and Beyoncé regularly hosted Diddy at their annual Roc Nation Brunch. He was a visible presence, smiling for photos, splashed across their website, rubbing shoulders with the biggest names in entertainment. But everything changed when the Cassie lawsuit hit. Almost overnight, Diddy was cut off. Jay and Beyoncé iced him out like he'd never existed. But to the public, that sudden silence only raised more questions. One story that really made people stop and look came from rapper Dabby. He claimed that back in 2020, he attended a super exclusive party at Diddy's LA mansion. And who else was in that room, with only a handful of guests? Jay-Z and Beyoncé. The way he described it, the gathering wasn't just elite, it had a strange energy. The kind of vibe that, in hindsight, sounded eerily similar to what people are now calling Diddy's freak-off scene. That's when internet sleuths started connecting dots. Then came the deeper allegations. Jay-Z's past, something that's been whispered about for years, began resurfacing. Long ago, there were rumors that he had a relationship with Foxy Brown when she was just 15. Jay worked hard to scrub that narrative from public memory, and for the most part, it stayed buried. But the twist? His former business partner, Dame Dash, was asked about it directly in an interview, and instead of denying it, Dame got visibly uncomfortable. He basically told the interviewer to go ask Jay themselves, making it very clear he didn't want to be the one to speak on camera. And when you pair that with Jay's known collaborations with R. Kelly, another figure surrounded by disturbing allegations, people began to see a pattern that couldn't be ignored anymore. Right now, Jay-Z is being viewed the way R. Kelly was before everything exploded, an acceptable monster. Back then, people turned a blind eye to R. Kelly's behavior, and now, many believe history is repeating itself, just with a different name. Jay didn't just work with R. Kelly, he made an entire album with him, and went on tour. And when Dame Dash was asked why he distanced himself from Jay, he didn't sugarcoat it. He said it was because Jay refused to cut ties with R. Kelly. That's huge, because if we're being honest, when people compare Jay to Diddy, they may not be far off. And Beyoncé? Her connection to all of this is what makes the entire situation even more explosive. For years, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been seen as the music industry's royal couple. Red carpets, matching power moves, flawless public appearances. But now, the picture being painted behind the scenes suggests something very different. A high-stakes business partnership, not a love story. With their names now quietly being mentioned in legal circles, people are starting to question how it all really began. And the deeper they dig, the darker it gets. Jay-Z has shown a troubling pattern over the years. A powerful, older man, repeatedly connected to young, up-and-coming women, just entering the industry. After the Foxy Brown rumors, and those whispers of hush money, the next name that came up, Aaliyah. After R. Kelly's illegal marriage to Aaliyah was exposed and criticized, insiders say Jay started making his move. He reportedly sent her flowers, invited her to exclusive events, trying to win her over with the kind of charm and power only a major mogul could use. But here's the thing, Aaliyah wasn't interested. She saw through it. Reportedly, Aaliyah wasn't interested in Jay-Z. Her attention was more focused on Dame Dash, Jay's own business partner at the time. According to insiders, it wasn't just attraction. It felt like there was a twisted rivalry brewing between Jay and R. Kelly over her, like it wasn't about love, it was about ego, dominance, control. And that's where things take a chilling turn. Remember that old 66 and Park episode? Mary J. Blige and Free were on air, discussing Aaliyah's tragic death. What many don't know, or have forgotten, is that both women have histories tied to abuse. Free is said to be a victim of Sean Carter, and Mary J. Blige was a survivor of Sean Combs, aka Diddy. So when they sat there talking about Aaliyah's death, it hit differently. Because when that plane crash happened, people didn't just grieve, they questioned everything. Conspiracy theories took off. Some claimed Aaliyah was drugged without consent and forced onto that aircraft against her will. Whether fact or speculation, the idea that her death wasn't an accident left the public wondering. Who really had a hand in what happened? After that tragic chapter, Jay-Z's attention shifted to Beyoncé. She was young, immensely talented, and still navigating her early career. Insiders say her personal life was tightly controlled. Her mother was highly involved, managing everything from performances to public image. Beyoncé reportedly only had one boyfriend in high school, her dating life almost non-existent. So when Jay-Z came into the picture, older, powerful, and incredibly influential, she was swept off her feet. Jay once admitted in an interview that he met Beyoncé when she was just 16, but claimed he waited until she turned 18 to officially pursue her. But those close to Beyoncé say that by the time she was legally an adult, the power dynamic between her and Jay-Z was already skewed, heavily. It wasn't some fairy tale romance. It was calculated. She idolized him, he controlled the access. He was the gatekeeper to the industry, and once he got in, he allegedly took over everything. Her music, her image, her schedule, even her sense of personal freedom. And that brings us to Uncle Ron, Beyoncé's former bodyguard, who's recently gone viral for dropping some seriously dark revelations. According to him, Jay-Z intentionally got Beyoncé hooked on certain substances, not for fun, but to control her. To keep her dependent, compliant, and quiet. A parallels to what Cassie said about Diddy. Disturbing. A pattern of power, manipulation, and addiction being used as a leash. People close to Beyoncé must say she's been trying to break free for years. She's tired of being managed by Jay, her team, even her own mother. Sources claim she feels like her entire life was constructed, not lived. That she's a product, not a person. Behind the glamour, the red carpets, the carefully filtered posts, there's a woman feeling trapped. According to insiders, Beyoncé has quietly talked about walking away from it all. Disappearing, cutting ties, vanishing into silence. They say she's opened up about deep depression, about feeling hopeless, isolated, suffocated. One source even claimed she's had serious thoughts of ending it all, not because she wants to die, but because she doesn't see another way out. And with the federal heat closing in, she may be running out of time to escape. The internet is watching closely, and fans are starting to turn. People who once defended J and B at all costs are now asking real, hard questions. How deep were they involved in Diddy's world? Why are these disturbing patterns showing up when you follow their history? And maybe most importantly, why the sudden silence? That silence has been loud. The Roc Nation Brunch, once the ultimate celebrity networking event, has quietly disappeared. No public announcement, no farewell statement. Just gone. Beyoncé and Jay used to post about it religiously. Celebs begged for an invite. Now, radio silence. Ever since Diddy's scandal broke, the event vanished, and fans are connecting the dots fast. Their team hasn't made a single statement. And that silence? It's deafening. To many, it's the clearest sign they're trying to vanish before things explode. Then there's the money trail. Word on the street is that Beyoncé's been preparing for an exit for a while now. Not loudly, but quietly. She's been pulling out of deals, renegotiating contracts, and cancelling tour dates. Not due to weak sales, but to stockpile cash. Insiders say she's been stacking her money with a plan. Cut ties, secure the bag, and leave Jay behind. There were whispers of a planned divorce, one that would be announced after she had her financial freedom. But once federal prosecutors allegedly caught wind of both their names, everything changed. That quiet separation plan reportedly turned into a joint escape strategy. Now, according to people close to their circle, J and B are exploring countries with no extradition treaties, places the US can't reach if charges are filed. Think ultra-luxury villas, private properties off the grid, and even new identities. They've seen what happened to Diddy, the raids, the lawsuits, the headlines, and they're trying to. Jay-Z, once hailed as the brilliant businessman, the former hustler turned billionaire icon, now looks like a man under pressure, dodging shadows from his past. Beyoncé, the queen, the flawless performer, the symbol of black excellence, is suddenly being viewed in a very different light. The cracks are showing, the control, the image obsession, the silence. It's all being exposed, and this time, people aren't looking away. When Cassie's lawsuit first broke, it stunned the world. But as more details came out, the tapes, the testimonies, the alignments in stories, A bigger quest are urging immediate investigations into their connections, their past, and their silence. But here's what makes it different this time. It's not just critics speaking up, it's fans. The same fans who once idolized Beyoncé are now looking back and saying, "She never looked free. She's been trying to escape for years. We missed the signs." There's a deep sense of betrayal, not just by the actions themselves, but by the illusion that everything was perfect. As for Jay, his past is no longer buried. It's resurfacing fast, in old interviews, unearthed court records, and stories from former collaborators. And with Dame Dash making it clear he won't stay silent, refusing to take the fall, even more could drop at any moment. This isn't gossip anymore. It's the fall of an empire. An empire built on talent, image, and silence. But silence doesn't last forever. And now, the silence is cracking. So yes, it makes sense why they'd want to disappear, why they'd want to vanish before the storm fully hits. But the real question is, can they? Or will the truth expose them before they can disappear forever?